Well, we have something very interesting for you today.
Me?
Apart from you, Malcolm.
Me and a tree.
What you're holding in your hand. Mari Peterson is here with us, and she has brought along some beautiful bonsai plants. Welcome to the program, Mari.
Thank you.
And Malcolm, what are you holding?
Well, I'm holding this because my interest in bonsai started with a jade tree just like this, but not in a little pot like that. It was in a great big pot. When I left home when I was 20 years old, moved into a flat.
Was it that size in a big pot?
Yes, it was this size in a pot that stood about that high.
Right.
It's now this high in a pot that's about this round.
Yeah.
Because I learned how to prune the roots and the top, and the trunk of it's about as thick as my leg, and my arms are about there.
And it still fits in the pot?
It's a much smaller pot. I pruned it down because that's the art of bonsai.
Oh, well, this is why Mari's here to chat to us.
She's the expert.
She's the expert.
And I'm going to put this back.
Oh, okay. But you are from the now Bonsai Society.
Yes.
And you've brought along these beautiful plants. Now, how long has it been an interest for you?
Oh, about 40 years. I've been doing it for a long time. Just started with one or two.
You were only a baby when you started?
I was, yes, very young. And you think, oh, I'll try that tree and then I'll try that one, and it sort of grows on you as a hobby. It's really quite addictive. So I've been doing it for a very long time.
And so do you find, is it something that is easy to pick up as a hobby?
It is actually. It's you don't have to be a green finger to do it. It's part horticulture, part art. The art is in the styling of it, and of course you have to prune the roots and feed and water it. But it's not really hard.
You prune the roots as well as the top?
Yes, yes.
But actually, you just said the most important thing, the feeding, but particularly the watering.
Ah, the watering,
Because the issue with bonsais, of course, is they're in such a small pot that they dry out so quickly, particularly in air conditions in this country.
Hot weather. That's right. These get like little ovens, particularly, you know, wherever you live in Australia. In summertime, you really need them sort of sheltered or semi-sheltered from the afternoon sun and watering. I would water mine every day.
Which, for me then, my question is, why aren't they in a bigger pot so that they can hold more?
Janice!
I'm sorry.
Go to the toilet.
Well, bonsai can be tiny, like just 6 centimetres, or you can get what they call patio bonsai that are in quite a big pot, and they might be a metre or so tall.
Well, we have, look at that. I mean, that's glorious, isn't it?
That's a grove.
Yes, yeah. That's a lovely group. And that sort of thing you can grow from seeds or seedlings, you see.
How old would that be?
That's probably about 30 years old.
Is it really?
Grown from little seedlings. You dug up in the country somewhere.
Yeah.
That's a good way of getting them. So that's grown from seedlings. But
I keep a spade in the car.
definitely, good idea. Yep, a trowel as you
Yes.
go past, because it's surprising people are demolishing houses or knocking down gardens, you know, and yeah, you
So
never
you
know
say,
what you might find. Oh, you
little
don't want that.
treasures.
Yes, little treasures.
Can we just talk about, let's just talk about this little
Yeah, this is
ficus tree down the front.
there, that tiny,
Yeah, we'll just leave it there. It's a
fig,
little tiny
yes.
one, and you can see that that's been pruned with these tools that I'm currently holding. These, I'll just move the little tree so we can get them together. Because you're chopping off sometimes quite large pieces, you need some fairly sturdy tools like this one here that almost looks like toenail clippers,
Yes,
doesn't it? Because that's sort of what it is.
Big toenail clippers.
Well, because you've got to get in there and go
get in
plump.
and cut
I
close
see.
to the branch. Yes.
Now, the growth here is how old? Now, first of all, this is the original trunk of the
yes,
original little
yeah.
tree. And then you've chopped off, you've pruned off
there, you can
the
see
main
that big
growing
one.
point there. Then how old would these
That'd be 5 years, 8 years old,
Yes.
probably.
So it doesn't happen overnight.
No, it's a
gosh.
gradual
So
process.
there are tools like this. There are tools like this that are sort of just scissors in a way that you can get a decent when
Hold
you're
on
doing
to
the finer stuff. And another set here similar, but they're
The tiny leaves,
Yeah.
and yeah, for just you can pinch some of these leaves off, and with these, this tree here is the same species of that tree there, but because they've been constantly pruned and pinched, the leaves get down
Is
in
this
proportion.
the Moreton Bay fig?
That's the Port Jackson.
Port
fig,
Jackson,
yes,
sorry.
yes. So that's, if you see those growing in the parklands, the leaves are quite big, but
big as
constantly,
your park.
yes, pruned.
And they shrink that as they grow in the pot, as the tree gets bigger, the leaves get smaller as the
from
tree
the
gets bigger.
pruning. Yes, yeah. So the pruning keeps the style nice, and you have to keep it healthy by giving it replenishing the soil and nourishment.
As in, that's why we've got this little pot
A little
here.
example of soil. Any general purpose potting soil is good, but we tend to get that and mix a bit of cow manure and some zeolite and gravelly stuff so it drains well. The pots all have holes in the bottom, so drainage is important. So you need a sort of open mix, really.
Well. So you can see that's quite loose, that soil.
So you would be constantly, is a daily routine that you have with your plants?
Well, I don't spend as much time as I should. Certainly I water them most days in this weather.
I don't know if you can see without upending too much of that, but the hole is right there on my finger. Oops, there we go.
Okay.
And there's two of them, because they do need to drain properly, otherwise they'll drown.
Otherwise they. That's right.
Oh,
yes,
okay.
But it's. I was just wondering whether I could do that anyway. So you can see how they lift out.
Yes.
And then you just tease it away. Don't mind the mess, of course. You can clean up. Tease it out and give it some fresh soil and pop it back in the pot.
Yes.
And that's the sort of thing that you can. These are very hardy, so you can be fairly brutal.
That's true, you can
with them.
actually, and you can prune them quite brutally.
But it's a very relaxing hobby, especially why it's really good for the over 50s, of course, or anyone, but you can relax. It's very therapeutic. You just get into your trees and prune, and a lot of people are downsizing then, getting smaller places, and you can have a dozen of these on your patio.
Around.
If you go away, you can take them to a friend of mine. It's good.
But it's been said to me many times, but it's so cruel.
Ah, yes, people always said that's cruel.
It's crazy, isn't it? Because they get more care than any other plant in the garden.
That's right. You mow your lawn and prune your roses, and you don't think they're crying with hurt. But these are very well looked after,
But I think you made the most valid point. When people downsizing, the fact that you can have a veritable forest.
Yes, well, there's something like that.
And that's just beautiful.
A variety of trees without the big yard to look after.
That's right.
Yes.
And the joy of watching them develop. But my advice would be to start young, because then you
takes such a long time.
You do.
Is there any plants that you can't turn into a bonsai plant, or is it?
No, any tree or shrub you can do, but some are better than others. And if you're going to start off, you're better going with a Port Jackson fig. That's a little Chinese elm, something that grows well in your area. If you live in the hills, say of New South Wales or Canberra way, the maples are good. If you live near the sea, on the plains, junipers, jade, all those things. So try something that grows well in your area.
Okay.
And one thing that, speaking of jade, one thing that does grow well just about anywhere is jade.
Yes.
And it's so easy to get a tree to look like that. You can almost find a branch and cut it off, because they'll root in anything.
Take roots very
and
easily.
And then just start to prune it so you get the shape. But talking of the pruning and the shaping of the tree, that's why we've got some wire here. I've used mostly copper wire, but that's now so expensive.
It's a bit expensive, and it's a bit harder to use. That's anodised aluminium.
Yeah.
And it's more supple.
It's not. It's not that hard to.
No.
Sorry, but I can't see any with that.
With
so
the wire.
why would you use the wire?
If you want to bring a branch down, so you wire. I mean, I'll just use my finger as an example.
Say like this
so
one
you
here,
wire
this
it
branch
around
here.
like that, and then bend the branch down into shape, or how you want it.
So that's where the art comes into it.
That's where the art comes in.
Shaping your branches.
Do all that, 'cause
so that you can
I've done this once or twice in my time.
And you can leave the wire on maybe 6 months, and when that branch is set in the position, you can take the wire off.
Okay.
So, if I was really being unkind to my fingers here, I would prune it, I would wire this one away from probably that one-ish to get a bit of separation between the two as the branches come up, rather than being together like that.
Yes,
so as the branches grow, it doesn't actually grow around the wire. It doesn't
well,
actually...
you'd cut the wire off before that happens. Yes,
Because you'd spoil the look. Because I suppose the truth is it's all about the look, but, you should do, you know lots. But because this is generally associated with Japanese people, or Japanese
They
beginning.
developed the art at the beginning, yes.
But it certainly is a worldwide art, and certainly the Asian countries have a lot of bonsai plants, as you said, in patio pots, in everywhere,
Yes,
supermarkets, shopping centres.
That's right.
And in homes.
And the Japanese have a lot handed down from generation to generation. That's why they have them very old.
It's good to start early, I
Yes,
say.
yeah, true. But here in Australia, even natives, you can start trying things that grow in your climate. Yes.
I've seen quite a few
works.
Australian natives,
Yeah, yes,
and some of them really look
Some
terrific.
can look good, but you still have to get that style of leaving the trunk
the thicker
to
trunk.
to make the tree look aged, you know, getting the branches down, they sag like us with age, and to, you know.
But so it looks like an adult tree
adult
in a
tree
small
rather than
pot.
just a little bush in a pot.
So
yeah.
if people are interested in taking this up and would like some help, there are associations all over Australia.
Yes.
Here in South Australia we have an association.
Yes, South Australian Bonsai Society, and we meet at Goodwood, but we're on the website, and we have a huge library and pots and tools for sale, and there's societies all over Australia that would help you out, and that's the beauty of it too. You meet other people with their bonsai interest, and
So you have regular meetings,
Yes,
and so
yeah.
if anybody's interested, obviously you can make contact through Murray at the Bonsai Society,
Yes.
and just come along and bring
that's
your...
right. Just
do you
come
take your
along and
plant
see-
if you've got
or
a problem?
you can, or you
take
just
it-
come and see, and then
Ask
get a
the
few
questions?
ideas, ask the questions.
I've got a
yes.
tip.
What?
Now, if you love these, as I do, and you can't wait, you need to have a look and see any deceased estate who's selling these, because often, it's a terrible thing to say, but people don't know the value or the love that's gone into these,
that's- yeah.
and sometimes you can actually get
Pick
a
up,
lovely adult plant that
Has been...
that will take you to the next level for yourself, and you've got a bit of a range in your own garden.
Yeah, some people start growing from seed in their 70s because they think, oh, to keep young, I've got to stay to
Have a
let the
hobby.
tree, wait for the tree to get old.
But you can take over somebody else's work and develop it even further, which is
would
lovely
be a
too.
lovely thing to do.
So being able to hand them
Absolutely.
down is great.
Yeah,
Thank you so
yeah,
much.
That's
No,
okay. It's a pleasure.
yes, absolutely beautiful. I've learned a lot.
Well, that wouldn't take much.
You're so kind.
We'll be back in a minute. Marie, this is just lovely. I particularly like this.
It is a nice one, yeah.